All right, from there, give me, let's do some more examples. Give me Hebrews, the 7th chapter. Hebrews, the 7th chapter. This one, buckle down. A lot of people mislead and misread this. Hebrews chapter 7, verse 1.
Hebrews chapter 7, verse 1.
Come on.
For this is Melchizedek, king of Salem, priest of the Most High God, who met Abraham returning from the slaughter of the kings and blessed him.
So wait a minute. This is, for this Melchizedek, king of Salem, priest of the Most High God, who met Abraham returning from the slaughter of the kings and blessed him. Okay, remember we read earlier Romans 15:4? This right here is referring right back to what we read aforetime, Genesis the 14th chapter. Let's get that. Whole Hebrews 7, because we're going to pull this account where King Melchizedek met Abraham after he returned from the slaughter. Genesis chapter 14, you're going to start at verse 17 when you get it. Let me get it with you. Genesis chapter 14, yeah, start at verse 17.
Verse 17.
Right.
And the king of Sodom went out to meet him after return from the slaughter of Chedorlaomer and of the kings that were with him at the valley of Chava, which is the king's dale.
Read.
And Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought forth bread and wine.
So and Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought forth bread and wine. Here comes King Melchizedek with bread and wine. Read on.
And he was the priest of the Most High God.
He was the priest of the Most High God. Come on.
And he blessed him and said, Blessed be Abraham of the Most High God.
Who's he meeting with? Abram, which is Abraham. This is what it's talking about in Hebrews 7, when Melchizedek met Abraham and blessed him. Read.
Possessor of the heaven and earth.
Okay, so go back to Hebrews 7. We just wanted to get that account so brothers understand what it's speaking of. Wait, hold on. Let's finish this so we don't have to come back here.
Verse 20.
Right.
And blessed be the Most High God, which hath delivered thy enemies into thy hand.
Read.
And he gave him tithes of all.
So what happened when Abraham seen the priest of the Most High God, Melchizedek? He gave him tithes of all. Abraham was happy, and he gave him tithes of everything. Go back to Hebrews chapter 7 and start at verse 1. I wanted to get that so we could just call it back to remembrance when we get there.
Hebrews chapter 7, verse 1.
Read.
For this is Melchizedek, king of Salem, priest of the Most High God, who met with Abraham returning from the slaughter of the kings and blessed him.
He blessed. Melchizedek blessed Abraham. Read.
To whom also Abraham gave a tenth part of all, first being by interpretation of king the righteousness,
Read.
and after that also king of Salem, which is king of peace.
King of Salem. Salem, Salam, Shalom. Meaning what? Peace. So it's telling you, to whom also Abraham gave a tenth part of all. We read when Abraham seen the high priest of the Most High, what did he do? He gave him tithes of all. It says, and to whom also Abraham gave a tenth part of all, first being interpretation, king of righteousness, and after that also king of Salem, which is king of peace. Read.
Verse 3.
Come on.
Without father, without mother.
That was going into the history of Melchizedek. Because if you pay attention, get your concordance, try to find it, look it up. You don't read anything on Melchizedek prior to this. You're going to read something, I believe, what is that, Psalms or Proverbs about Melchizedek, about the order. But that's the only time you see Melchizedek's name pop up. So where did Melchizedek come from? It says without father. You don't read about his descendants, where he came from. Read.
Without father, without mother, without descent.
This Melchizedek, king of Salem, just pops up out of nowhere. Read.
Having neither beginning of days nor end of life.
Who is this talking about? Neither beginning of days nor end of life. This Melchizedek, his life wasn't recorded, but it says without father, without mother, without descent, having neither beginning of days nor end of life. Read.
But made like unto the Son of God.
Unto who?
But made like unto the Son of God.
Read on.
Abideth a priest continually.
Okay, so wait a minute. Who is this Melchizedek? Who is this speaking of? Made like unto the Son of God. Melchizedek was Christ. He was Christ. And Christ actually referenced the account and what happened. And the people, the Jews that was there, they was blown by what Christ was saying. Let's get that account. Go to John chapter 8. Let's get when Christ actually referenced this and what took place. St. John's chapter 8. I want to start at verse 53. St. John's 8, verse 53.
St. John chapter 8, verse 53. Art thou greater than our forefather Abraham? Art thou greater than our father Abraham?
So right now, what you got to understand is Christ right now is talking to these Pharisees or Sadducees, I believe, and he's telling them that basically, y'all wouldn't like me. When you read this chapter above, go to verse 39. He's like, y'all ain't like your father Abraham. If y'all was like your father Abraham, you wouldn't be trying to kill me right now. Let's get that. Go to, I believe it's 39. Yeah, read verse 39 in this chapter.
St. John chapter 8, verse 39.
Read.
They answered and said unto him, Abraham is our father. Jesus saith unto them.
So here they go. They said, Abraham is our father. That's what they're saying to him right now. Read.
Jesus said unto them, If we were Abraham's children.
If ye were Abraham's children, read.
Ye would do the works of Abraham.
You would do the works of Abraham. If you were of Abraham, you would do the works of Abraham. Come on.
But now you seek to kill me.
But now you seek to kill me. Y'all want to put me to death. Come on.
A man that hath told you the truth.
A man that told you the truth. Read.
Which I have heard of God.
What Christ heard from God. Come on.
This did not Abraham.
Wait, what did Abraham not do? Abraham didn't try to kill Christ. But y'all trying to. Y'all want to put Christ to death. Abraham didn't do this. Abraham did not. How do we know Abraham didn't do that? Read. Jump to verse 56. Let's go.
Verse 56.
Mm-hmm.
Your father Abraham rejoiced to see my day.
Whoa. Wait a minute. He said, your father Abraham rejoiced to see my day. How did Christ and Abraham meet? Read that verse again.
Your father Abraham rejoiced to see my day.
Come on.
And he saw it and was glad.
How did Abraham see Christ? It says Abraham saw it and he was glad. He was happy. Read.
Then said the Jews unto him, Thou art not yet 50 years old.
They said, you ain't even 50 years old. Read.
And hast thou seen Abraham?
And you saying you seen Abraham? Come on.
Jesus said unto them, Verily, verily, I say unto you, before Abraham was, I am.
Christ said he was there from Jump Street. Before Abraham was, I am. And he said, back to verse 56, he says, your Abraham father, he rejoiced to see my day. How did he rejoice to see his day? What did Abraham do when he saw King Melchizedek? King of Salem, King of Peace, the King of Peace. What did he do? He gave him tithes of all. That's what Abraham did. And guess what? Abraham didn't try to kill Christ, like they sought to do. Like he said up in verse, what was that, 53?
Verse 50.
No, it was
verse 40. No, yeah, verse 40. 40.
Yeah, 40. But now ye seek to kill me, a man that have told you the truth, which I have heard of God. This did not Abraham. Christ is, you gotta understand, that's a very profound statement. He's showing them, and it's going way over their heads. We're trying to show you now how it's coming out in the spirit of Christ. We have to understand this now. We got to be careful, especially understanding regeneration, how we treat one another, how we treat our brothers and sisters, because you never know who's who. You never know. This could be a great man of God I'm sitting next to. This could be King David. Now, let's not get simple and say, this brother, wow, man, your beard is just, man, your hair grows so quick. You Samson, brother? No. I tell you, bro, over the years, there's been some things take place within our nation that we've grown away from. But in all, we must understand these scriptures. Let's get some more understanding or some more examples. Go to John 9. Let's do that one. We're already right here.
Yeah, we're already here.
Start at verse 1. Let's get into the mind frame of our forefathers. Let's get into the mind frame of the people that were there with Christ at this time.
John chapter 9, verse 1.
Come on.
And as Jesus passed by, he saw a man which was blind from his birth.
So this Christ was walking by and he saw a man that was blind from birth. Blind from birth, meaning day one, he was blind. When he was born, this man has not seen anything since the day he was born, whatever. Come on.
And his disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did sin? This man or his parents, that he was born blind?
Wait a minute, hold on. Something ain't adding up for those that don't believe in regeneration or don't feel that it's possible. The disciples asked him, they said, verse 2, and the disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did sin, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? Born blind. Well, how could this man commit a sin that will result in him of being born blind? In order to sin, you got to be alive, you have to do something wrong, and then you get what you get. So how could this man have sinned and make it to where because he sinned, this will result in him being born blind, unless he did something in his last life? The disciples understood this. They understood regeneration. They knew that spirits went to the Most High, and the Most High sent the spirits back. They understood this. Read on.
Verse 3, Jesus answered, Neither have this man sinned.
And Christ understood it. Christ said, no, this man, he didn't sin. Read.
Nor his parents.
Nor his parents, because guess what? A lot of people don't understand this, but your children can be punished for something you're doing. God could punish you through your children like he did David. Most High could punish you through your children. Your children can be born with sicknesses or diseases or things of that sort because of things that you've done. Come on.
But that the works of God should be made manifest in him.
That the works of God. This man was born for a reason. When you read on down, Christ healed this man. And this man was born blind for the glory of the Most High. Okay? From there, let's get another example. Give me Matthew's chapter 16. Matthew's the 16th chapter. We're going to start at verse 13. Let me get it. Matthew chapter 16, verse 13.
Matthew chapter 16, verse 13. When Jesus came into the coast of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, saying, Whom do men say that I am the Son of Man am?
So he asked the disciples and said, Who do men say that I, the Son of Man, am? He wanted to know, what were people saying about him? Who were they trying to say that he was? Read.
And they said,
this is what they're saying. This is what the people are saying amongst the people. Read.
Some said that thou art John the Baptist.
Some people are saying you John the Baptist. Because think about it. You're in the land of Israel. Some people don't quite know John the Baptist. They don't quite know Christ. They know John the Baptist. He was one of the ones out there teaching. They may not have seen his face necessarily, may have heard of him and whatnot. But when people seen Christ and seen the multitudes following him and the way that he spoke, they say, oh no, that's that dude John the Baptist. That's what people were saying amongst themselves. Read.
Some Elias.
What? Wait, hold on. So some people was just bugged out. It's like, yeah, that's Elijah. Elijah from eons ago, right? Read.
And others, Jeremiah.
Jeremiah the prophet. He's like, no, that's Jeremiah. Well, how could that be Jeremiah? Jeremiah had to have been a couple thousand years old for that to be Jeremiah. Read.
Or one of the prophets.
Or one of the prophets. They're like, that's either Jeremiah or one of the prophets. That might be Isaiah back. That might be Amos back. One of the prophets. Now, did our people just, were they out of their mind? Were they just, for so many words, dumb? No, they understood regeneration. We were reading about instances in the scriptures that clearly shows you that your spirit, our forefathers understood that your spirit returns back to earth. Let's get some more. Let's go to 2nd Ezra. Now this right here, brothers and sisters, I think this is going to be the last one I do. But this right here is wisdom. This is something to chew on, all right? This is good. We're going to start in 2nd Ezra. 2nd Ezra chapter 1. Just something to chew on and ponder on. 2nd Ezra chapter 1. And start at verse 33.
Thus saith the Almighty Lord, your house is desolate. I will cast you out as the wind doeth stubble. And your children shall not be fruitful, and they have despised my commandment, and done the thing that is evil before me.
So the Most High casts us off. Why? Because we broke his commandments. Real quick, I want to get to the point. Jump to verse 39.
Verse 39.
Come on.
Unto whom I will give the leaders.
So in this day, the Most High is saying that he's going to give the nation of Israel leaders, right? Read on.
Unto whom I will give for leaders Abraham, Isaac, Jacob.
Start at verse 38.
Verse 38.
Come on.
And now, brother, behold that glory, and see the people that cometh from the east.
See the people that coming from the east. What is the east talking about? Back in our homeland. These people that came from there, right?
Unto whom I will give for leaders.
He's going to give those people leaders. He's going to give them to us for leaders, read.
Abram, Isaac, Jacob.
Now I want y'all to pay attention. You got Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the three forefathers of the nation of Israel. Okay, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Now let's start right here. Read.
Oseas.
This is Oseas, which is who? Hosea. So this is a prophet. Read.
Amos.
Amos. We know Amos, the book of Amos, prophet. Read.
And Micah.
Micah. Who is this? The book of Micah. That's 3. Come on.
Joel.
Joel.
Obadiah.
Obadiah. Read.
Jonas.
Jonah, the book of Jonah.
Nahum.
Nahum, the book of Nahum. Read.
And Habakkuk.
Habakkuk. Come on.
Sophianus.
Zephaniah. Read.
Aggiah.
The book of Haggai. Read. That's 10.
Zachary.
The book of Zechariah. Read.
Malachi.
And Malachi. Come on.
Which is the called also after the angel of the Lord.
Which is called also an angel of the Lord. So here we have 12 prophets that it just named. 12 prophets that the Most High said he was going to give us as leaders. He was going to give us those prophets as leaders. Well, let's connect the dots. Go to Ecclesiastes chapter 49. So what does that mean? Remember, this is in the time of Esdras, right? He said he was going to give us them as leaders. Well, Esdras came long after these prophets. Well, for some of them, he was almost around their time. But he came after these prophets. Most High said he's going to give us those prophets again for leaders. Go to Ecclesiastes chapter 49, start at verse 10. Ecclesiastes 49, verse 10.
Ecclesiastes chapter 49, verse 10.
Remember, we had 12 prophets that we just seen. Read.
And of the 12 prophets, let the memorial be blessed.
Let what?
Let the memorial be blessed.
Of the 12 prophets, it says, let the memorial be blessed.
And let their bones flourish again out of their place.
And let their bones flourish again out of their place. This isn't talking about literally their bones coming out of the ground. It's talking let them come back. They're coming back like the Most High said he's going to give us them as leaders. These men are coming back. When you understand and you really get into it deeply, the reason why we understand who we are, the reason why we're coming back, like you read in Ezekiel the 37th chapter, because the Most High sent his leaders back to teach this word, teach this gospel. Come on.
For they comforted Jacob.
For they comforted Jacob.
And delivered them by assured hope.
They comforted Jacob and delivered them for an assured hope. The prophets taught what? Keep the commandments and faith in Christ. The redemption of Israel. That's what the prophets taught. And that's what the prophets is teaching right now. We don't know who they are. Don't nobody know. Hey, brother, I'm Haggai. No. Nobody knows that. But you what? Like the scripture says, that which is done, it is that which shall be done. Prophets is doing the same thing they did back then. So you see a lot of this nonsense you see on YouTube and other stuff about brothers out here doing this foolishness, raping women. No, that's not what they were out there doing. The prophets weren't out there doing that. The prophets was doing what? Teaching to keep the commandments and the testimony of Jesus Christ. That's what the prophets was doing. The testimony of what? Us coming back into the Most High, returning and keeping his commandments and being redeemed. From there, last scripture, let's go to Revelations 21. I want y'all to remember it says, let the memorial be blessed. Let the memorial be blessed. Revelations chapter 21. Start at verse 1 first.
Revelations chapter 21, verse 1.
Come on.
And I saw a new heaven and a new earth.
Read.
For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea.
Come on.
And I saw, and I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband.
Read.
And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men.
So what we're reading right here, John's seeing New Jerusalem coming down, okay? And what he's going to start doing is describing what it looked like. This is the kingdom of heaven coming down. He's seeing it being made. Jump to verse 10.
Verse 10. And he carried me away in the spirit to a great and high mountain, and showed me that great city,
Come on.
the holy Jerusalem,
Read.
descending out of the heaven from God, having the glory of God, and her light was like unto a stone, a most precious, even like jasper stone, clear as crystal.
So he's describing what he sees. Come on.
And had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates, and at the gates 12 angels.
So he said he's seen a wall. It was great and high, and he had what? At the gates. So it had gates on it. He says, and at those gates he saw angels standing there. And I hope y'all don't think these angels is there just for decor. No, these angels, they're guarding them gates. Come on.
And names written thereon.
And there was names written on each one of those gates. Read.
Which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
No, of America.
Which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
Everybody's name was on the gate.
Which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of
Israel. That's what name was written on each one of those gates. You had 12 gates, and you had 12 names written on those 12 gates, which are the names of the 12 tribes of Israel. Come on.
On the east, 3 gates. On the north, 3 gates. On the south, 3 gates. On the west, 3 gates.
Read on.
And the wall of the city had 12 foundations.
Wait a minute. Now, the wall of the city, it says it had 12 foundations. Read.
And in them, the names of the 12 apostles of the Lamb.
And the names of the 12 apostles of the Lamb. So I hope y'all are able to correlate with what's being said right here. Those same prophets, those 12 apostles, it's there for a reason. Those people that came to Christ, those disciples that Christ picked, every last one of them was picked for a reason. That which is done, it is that which shall be done. And there's no new thing under the sun. Like we read back up here in Ecclesiastes 49 and 10, it says, and of the 12 prophets, let the memorial be blessed. We're reading the memorial right here in Revelation, the 21st chapter and the 14th verse. So let's wrap it up. Go to Ecclesiastes chapter 12. And I want you to start at verse 7 so we get some understanding of what takes place. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 7.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 7. Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was.
So this is what understanding what takes place when you pass away. It says the dust returns back to the earth. Remember when the scriptures say the Most High created man from the dust of the earth? It says, then shall the dust return to the earth as it was. Read.
And the spirit shall return unto God, who gave it.
Understanding life. When you pass away, your body goes into the ground and returns back to the dust from whence it came from. And your spirit goes back to the Most High from who gave it. So when you understand this, brothers and sisters, it's imperative, especially when you're in this walk and you're trying to find your way. Brothers and sisters, understand something. Like you read in we just went over in Regeneration. If you look at and trying to find the path, look for the prophets. Look for the men that are teaching, thus saith the Lord. That's what you look for. They're teaching you to keep the commandments and faith in Christ. That's the only way to the kingdom of heaven. Everything outside of that, literally, it's just words. You want to get to the kingdom, go that route. Get the understanding from the men who are teaching thus. Go to verse 13.
Verse 13.
Come on.
Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
Because at the end of the day, that's the conclusion of the whole matter. Trying to get to the kingdom of heaven, what you want to understand about your whole duty in life, what to do, read.
Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of men.
This is the whole duty of man. Fear God, keep his commandments, so we can make it into the kingdom of heaven. And if you're not sure of where to go to get the understanding, like I said beforehand, like the scripture says, by their works, by their fruit, you're going to know them. Look at the men. See what they're doing. See if they're living up to what it is that they're saying that they're living up to. Because if it ain't, it's going to show. And you're going to know exactly where to go. But brothers and sisters, I'm going to close it with that. That is regeneration. Other brothers, you see that we'll teach you different, same scriptures or some other precepts or whatnot, because there is many accounts of regeneration in the Bible. We didn't even get into the relationship between Adam, Solomon, and Christ. We'll do that on a later day. With that, brothers, I'm Abiel. I'm going to say shalom.
Brother Kazak, shalom.
Most High in Christ bless.
Most High in Christ bless.